Let's take a look at the Geofence feature that we have. Within Whelen Cloud Platform, we use geofencing for a variety of reasons. That can be anything from manipulating and changing lights and siren tones and intersections, all the way down to tracking how long a vehicle spends inside of a geofence or the time that they entered or exited it. To support that, we have a variety of geofence types that we can talk about. School zones, OTA updates, work zones, headquarters, and then the customs. I'll go through one by one to explain what these geofence zones mean. With the school zone geofence, we are able to change and reduce the audible siren tone in school zones during school hours if that's something that an agency wishes to do. For OTA updates, that is simply over-the-air updates for configurations and firmware. We are able to geofence specific areas within your city, whether that's the upfitter, the fuel station where you fuel your vehicles up at, or your headquarters, to push firmware and configurations automatically. We can also set time of day and day of week where when a vehicle enters into that zone, is online and not responding, we can automate and push that update. This takes efficiency to the next level when it comes to keeping your fleet completely up to date. For work zones, the intent here is that we can make your vehicles function differently when you're inside of a work zone. Imagine pulling into an area that's declared as a work zone and your cruise lights or a different flash pattern comes on your vehicle. This is just the next level of intelligent control when we bring into consideration the geolocation of a vehicle. For headquarters, we can do a lot of things. One example that we like to talk about is idle time in headquarters. As fleet managers, we all know that vehicles come into the parking lot and they idle when we should shut them off and save fuel. Through this geofence type, we can actually send a notification or activate the cruise lights on vehicles that have been idling for more than a set amount of time inside of that geofence. Another thing that we can do with headquarters is we can also use that to trigger over-the-air updates based off of knowing that that vehicle is at a headquarters location. When it comes to our custom geofences, this is really where we can take intelligent control to the next level. An example that we like to talk about often is a geofence around an intersection. We understand that traveling through intersections is one of the most dangerous parts of the response for first responders, and if there's anything that we can do to either automate or increase some of the efficiency through there, that is really our goal. By geofencing these intersections, we are able to raise the audible and visual warning, whether that's a faster flash pattern, potentially adding white light to the flash pattern, or changing the siren tone while inside of that intersection geofence. Once a vehicle exits that geofence, the vehicle will go back to how it was traditionally programmed. Okay, so let's draw one of those geofences that we were discussing. Here, we're at the Montville Public Safety Center. We go to the top of the screen and we click Create Geofence. That brings up a cursor or a crosshair as the pointer, and we're able to click as many points as we would like to draw a very specific geofence to make sure that we capture all of the areas where we want the action to take place. For this example, we're going to create an OTA update zone. Whenever you're satisfied with what the geofence looks like, all you have to do is click one of the dots that you've already placed. From there, it'll basically bring up the geofence card. For this example, we will title that OTA for over the air, and in the drop-down list, we will pick an OTA update zone. Next, you're able to choose, is this always active? Is this zone going to expire at a certain time? Or is there a specific range where we want this to take place? For this OTA update zone, let's make it daily. But let's also add a start and finish time to this. We know that this department has a shift change between 6 and 7 a.m., so we're able to set this zone to only be active to perform those updates during that time. And then at the bottom, you're able to choose, do you want this to perform configuration updates, which is a fundamental change to the lighting and warning system and how it functions, or just a firmware update. For this, we'll set it as firmware. Now that geofence is set, any vehicle that enters that geofence area during that time range will receive a necessary firmware update with no other action needed.